I think this week about needing to learn to play through the physical, much like last year's team needed to. Was this the perfect game for that, to make your guys, I mean, you're getting roughed up, some antics happened out there, but for the most part, seem to keep their cool?
Yeah, again, we didn't turn them over enough. We don't have enough pressure on the ball. We're getting hung up on too many screens, ball screens and down screens. We're stopping way too much. And then they played really physical, and I told the guys after, we fought through, but look, we got to have, I said this last week and I'll say it again, when guys are trying to establish who they are, you can tell. Instead of a shot is for our team, this is a team shot, not my shot. I'm supposed to take this, and I missed it, so what? The team, we missed, not I missed. That's what we got to break through. And it's just going to continue to take time. When we break through, you'll all know it. You'll say, oh my gosh, you got them. You finally convinced them to quit playing for themselves and just be a team player. We have 5, 6 guys in double figures, so you're not shooting 30 times anyway. Shooting 12, 13 times. If you make them, great. If you miss them, do some other things. Rebound the ball. But you're shooting them for us. It's a team of what we're doing. But Willie was really good, boy. Oof.
You mentioned, Cal, would you say that the turning, would you say that the turning point of the game is when Reggie, the 3-pointer, to shoot the game out from single digits 9 to 12?
I don't know. I mean, I never thought we were going to get away from them because we kept breaking down defensively. We had to change how we played pick and roll in the second half on Sullivan. Sullivan was coming off the pick and roll, making easy shots, so we had to play it different, which we did. Again, it's a game that we don't block the shots that we normally do, but like I said, at the end of the day, it's a win to move on. Someone says, well, now you're playing for first place. Are you crazy? We got Florida twice. We got Missouri here. We got to go to Arkansas. We got to go to Georgia. We got to go to Tennessee. What? We're just trying to get better. I'm not worried about first place, second place, fifth place. Just get better. Play for us. Get out of your own self's way so you can now not feel the weight of the world on you. And that's where we're zeroing in on right now.
John, how much credit should we give to Tony Martin's plan for keeping New Orleans relatively, obviously less of a shot blocker?
Well, he did 2 things to New Orleans. One, he trapped, and I could not get our guys to space right. So he went and said, they didn't leave big to big, which is what they normally do. Tony changed it. They left off of guards. They basically said, we're not playing Ryan. So they left Ryan's man, and that's who went and trapped. And then on defense, what they did was they took a lot of threes. And the other thing they were doing was they were spacing the court and getting him out on the court at times. So he did a good job. There'll be people watch this game and prepare for us off this game.
John, you mentioned Jared and Willie briefly and the energy that they brought. Did that change the complexion of the team and maybe, put a spark in your guys?
Yeah. But see, here's my issue. If you're sitting there watching the game and you see what they do and what it does, wouldn't it inspire you to do something? Or do you say, well, that's fine, but I'm not going to do that?
Here. With Jared and Julius stepping up lately, how does that affect Archie's role in your game plan?
Well, Archie was struggling a little bit, and I didn't start him in the second half. But, again, I'm trying to get Archie to zone in on his team, what he's got to do for his team, and get out of how he's playing, because then you can't make a shot. You're afraid to make a play because you're afraid you are going to screw up. Versus I'm playing for the team. I know what the team needs me to do. They need me to drive. I need to come to jump stops for the team so I don't jump over them. If I miss some shots, it's okay. They need me to be aggressive and score. But if you're thinking about how you look, how it makes you look, it's hard. And again, we're teaching life skills. Last night we had Derek Anderson come in and speak to the team for a few minutes. And we went over the book we're reading right now, a couple chapters of that book. But then I read Derek's book last night, the new book he has out that's coming out. And I'm going to tell you what, unbelievable. So at shoot-around today, I was reading portions of his book to my team, which are just life skills, life lessons. And that's what this team needs more than anything else. And his story is a great story. God Never Blinks is the book that I told you I'd tell you about. And it's not spiritual, but it's not spiritual like the whole thing is spiritual. It's life, it's lessons, 50 lessons.
John, just following up on back here on Archie, you had to find offense with him on the bench for extended periods in foul trouble. Could that pay dividends down the road?
We were fine without him. It's good for him to see it too. But he'll be fine. He works hard. He's the first one in, the last one out, and he comes at night and he wants to do well. Putting way too much pressure on him because he's worried about how he's playing. But this isn't long. He's 18 years old. You're supposed to do some of this stuff.
And I think most people like to see pretty plays like Alex's behind the back pass and Willie lays it in. But from your point of view, a gritty, tough kind of game, how appealing is that?
I just don't want to get anybody hurt. That was my whole thing the whole game. You know the whole game, if you're listening to me, I'm saying don't foul. Do not foul. Don't foul. So if they're listening to me, they're not fouling. Now, when I see this physical play, and it's, you know, I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago, I thought it was getting better. But there's, you know, if a hand goes on a guy or a body check or a hip versus the press, like you're being pressed and a guy hips you, those should all be fouls. And I don't care. They should all be fouls. But they're not, and that's okay. So you play through it and you figure out how to play. If a guy body checks you with his chest, you drive and he goes like that, that's a foul. That's just as bad as that. I mean, I've been saying it, and maybe I say I'm maybe being a little self-serving. I always have a young team that they're trying to beat up. But if I had a big team and a physical team, I don't know, maybe I'd say, I'll let them play. What are you talking about, big baby?